Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is Ship Updates. Now, not a lot came out in regards to ships specifically this week, but we did actually get a very small sneak peek of the Cutlass Blue as a work in progress. And that was thanks to Sandy Gardner's Twitter feed. So you can see the image here. Now, she's talking about Josh Coons working on a Cutlass variant, but if you look more closely at the image, right here you can see those telltale Cutlass Blue cross members going across the cockpit, and you can actually see off to your right, the Cutlass Blue model, the old model, in the second monitor there. So that is in fact the Cutlass Blue. Now, one thing that stands out in particular here is you're looking at a whole open section here. Now, this is not a design change in the Cutlass Blue, in case you're thinking that. What this actually is the wing root of, that forward right-hand wing on the ship. It has been pulled away as, I guess, they're making interior changes or looking at things. If you look at the Cutlass Black, you can see right here where that wing root attaches to the ship. So when you were looking at that earlier image, that's just with that wing section, I guess, pulled off for whatever reasons, whatever they're doing behind that to kind of, bring this ship to life. So I know there's a few of you hardcore Cutlass Blue fans out there. And, well, here it is. Here is your first look at the newly updated Cutlass Blue as a work in progress. Now, of course, the big news this week was the release of the Tumbrill. Now, before we get into it too much, there's one thing that I want to clarify. It's already circulating out there, but just so everybody knows, this thing does come with LTI, but you cannot CCU this into a ship. So, just FYI. That is unfortunately not a thing that you can do. However, apparently you can CCU it into another ground vehicle. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. Now, the Tumbrill comes in several versions. There is a base model. There is a racing version of it as well. There's also a turreted version of the vehicle. There is an AA version of it, or anti-air, and also a recon version. Now, as of the recording of this video, I've been kind of keeping an eye on things, trying to see if I can find an answer to this question, but will the Tumbrill Cyclone be ready for 3.0? I have not found the answer yet, so I am going to assume that it is not going to be ready for 3.0. However, one thing to be aware of, since this vehicle doesn't hover, it's got wheels, it might be difficult to get it onto the surface of a planet with certain ships. Now, you'll remember a while ago, back during all the Caterpillar hubbub, when the Caterpillar first became available, I talked to people who were talking about selling their Starfarers to buy Caterpillars, and I said, don't get rid of the Starfarer, because the Starfarer has one thing that so many ships lack, which is a ramp. Now, if you look at the cargo space inside of the Starfarer coupled with that ramp, you have enough room in there for maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 land vehicles, depending on how many you choose to carry. And you still have cargo space because, remember, you can take those fuel pods out and replace them with cargo pods at some point in the future. So this brand new Tumbrill certainly reinforce the value of the Starfarer. Now, I did take a look inside the Caterpillar, and I was looking at the platforms to see, because remember, these platforms are supposed to be able to be lowered down at some point in the future, to see if there was enough space. And the side platforms, yeah, they look like they might have enough space, but it might require a bit of an Austin Power style parking job to load a Tumbrill onto them and then, get it into the ship and then off again. It might be a little bit of work, and yeah, there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of it's just, there's not a whole lot of space there to move it around. Maybe a Grey Cat PTV or a Dragonfly easily, a Nox, but Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Tumbrill or the Ursa rover. So that's one, that's another thing that the Starfarer has. I also went and checked out the front platform on the Caterpillar, and that situation was, yeah, it was even less. There was less room to play with the front elevator on the Caterpillar than there was on the side elevators. So I don't really think that this is going to be a very Caterpillar-friendly vehicle. At least with the current build out of the Caterpillar. I mean, in the future, once we have different cargo pods, maybe there'll be cargo pods that have ramps instead of elevators, and different options in that direction. But for right now, with the current base level Caterpillar, I would say it doesn't look like there's really enough room to maneuver for the larger ground vehicles on that ship. So as far as I can see, if this vehicle is indeed ready for 3.0, though I have not, once again, I have not as of yet seen that it is going to be. The only ships I think that are really safe to be able to say will be able to deploy this on the ground easily will probably be the Constellation and the Starfarer out of the currently available ships right now. Freelancer, I don't really think so. Maybe, but it's going to be a real tight squeeze. And Cutlass, definitely not. Now, hopefully this week with the Q&A, we will get some clarification on that, and we'll be able to, kind of discuss this vehicle a little bit more once we know more about it. But for this week, unfortunately, that's all we got. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.
Quantum travel initiated.